Let's take a look at this rear axle. So I lifted it up, I got it on wood blocks here so I can spin it. And you can see this chain is really bad. So what I want to do is this wheel is loose. So I want to fix that now. Let's take that off. Alright, so it appears that after whacking this a few times with a hammer, you can see that the carrier bearings are in fact toasting this thing. The chain's no good either. As you can see there, O-rings are just falling out of it. So, carrier bearing are junk. So I gotta pull this apart now. Alright, we got that off. That was not fun. Let it cool down for a minute because it is piping hot. I think I'm going to lift it off of there so it doesn't overheat the axle. These bearings are rusted solid to the shaft. I am not getting that off. I'm not going to be able to get this out. So, I have one or two options. Scrap the entire axle and bearing hub assembly, or get another bearing hub assembly, bearing kit, and cut that one off. That's probably what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go see if I can find one online right now, see what they're going for before I go any further. I need to sit and reassess this. That is not going to come off of there. No matter how much I heat it, no matter what I do, those bearings are frozen on that shaft. They're going to have to be cut off. I have, you can see the ring there. I'm going to cut that ring, hopefully without damaging the axle, and then I can work on getting the rest of that thing off of there. Alright, there it is. She's out. There she is in all her smoking glory. And you can see that that sleeve has been rolling ball bearings around in there for quite some time. And those are not coming off. Those need to be cut off. So that's next on the agenda. All right. This took about an hour to get this thing out of here. Take a look down in there. You can see the ball bearings. You can see the outer part of that bearing is still in there. I'm going to heat it up and pound it up with a metal rod from the other side. You can see those bearings have been rolling around in there for a long time. Just gouging that up. This thing must have rode like crap. On this side, you can see that it's out. The whole bearing's out. I can clean that all up. I'm not worried about that. Cut the bearing, that full bearing off of that axle there. And then I'm going to cut that inner bearing off of there. I don't know if that sleeve's any good. The spacer sleeve, we'll have to figure that out. I might have to get another one. But hopefully I can save the axle. Yeah, so I'm going to get to that now, but I'm going to shut you off. I'm not going to video that. All right, we got a bunch of parts in. Let's see what we got. So first is I ordered a couple of parts from Partzilla. When I order gaskets, I like to order genuine factory parts, whether it be Honda, Yamaha, whatever. I just don't trust the Chinese stuff you get on eBay or whatever. I know it's a little cheaper, but in the long run, I would rather have this stuff, especially something that's holding your oil in. I'd rather definitely go with a factory gasket. And then I picked this gasket up. I probably didn't need to, but the gasket was missing on the side cover where the throttle cable goes in. Probably didn't need it. I don't know if water will ever get that high while riding this. It might, but I'm going to put this O-ring back on there. It was only $3, so I picked that up and we'll install those. Then I had a decent sized order for Rocky Mountain ATV. I picked up a new oil filter for the bike. Let's see what we got in here. So I got a new plug, and it is a 7162 DR8 EA. These are the two axle rings, the retaining rings that hold the sprocket and the axle nut on. It allows you to compress everything. I don't know if these are factory or not, but I ended up having to buy these for the Trusk extended axle. That one says it's a Force, but it's made by Trusk from what I understand. And so I had to get those. I don't know if they're the same as the factory ones, but I ordered 2 more of those. Here is the retaining ring that this goes inside. I had to cut that off the axle because I couldn't get it to move. It was frozen on there. So I picked up a new one of these. This is a Trusk pot. This also is specific for their axle. So picked that up. I also picked up a new front sprocket. The sprocket on the bike is they're starting to hook on the front. So I picked up a new sprocket. Pot number right there if you're interested. Picked up a new rear sprocket. Pot number. And these are all Raptor pots. I also got a new chain, and this is a 520 O-ring chain. And the let's see what we got here for our pot number. right there. And then in here I picked up, these are also, this is the Trusk wheel bearing kit. And I think this is for their axle as well. There's the 2 seals and the 2 bearings. I'm gonna put the bearings in the freezer right now. It makes it easier to press them into the axle hub itself. So that's what I got in now. I'm waiting for the spacer that goes between the bearings. That should be here today, but there's a couple of things I need to do. So before that, so let me set you up in the stand and we'll go over that. The axle hub, it looked like it filled up with water before, and that's why everything got rusted solid in there and the bearings went. So I am going to drill a hole in this, tap it, and put a Zerk fitting in, or a grease fitting. For those that don't know what a Zerk, don't know that it's called the Zerk fitting. I'm going to put a grease fitting in just like this one here. The thread is a 6mm, so I'll drill it out, tap drill size, and then thread it with a tap, and then I'll go and pick up a fitting for it. I want to do that now because there's going to be chips in there, and I need to take this off the swing arm in order to put the bearings in and assemble it with the spacer in there. It just makes it a lot easier to hammer down, not having it up here. But for me to drill this hole in here, it's going to be a lot easier to do it while it's still on the bike because it's being held really well. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to prick punch this so that the drill won't walk around on the round surface. I put a nice prick punch on there so the drill will stay where I want it to. Alright, so there it is. You can see the threads in there. Now all I have to do is screw the Zerk fitting in there and pump this whole thing from end to end full of grease, and I won't have to worry about water getting in there anymore and ruin those bearings. Pretty easy fix. And aftermarket hubs put that Zerk on there, but factory doesn't. Alright, I have the Zerk fitting installed, as you can see, and I am going to now remove this. There it is. You can see I got to clean it up a little bit more, but this will make it a lot easier to put the bearings in. Let's get a bearing in there. I got my spacer. Came in the mail about a half hour ago. So let's start assembling. I got the bearing that's been in the freezer. I'll put a little grease in here just to get it to go a little easier. Let's seat it all the way in. Looks good. Now to put the spacer in there, you don't want to forget that. Grab the other bearing. Some grease in this as well. grab the seals. First seal. I'm going to put a little grease on the outside of this to help it go in. Alright, that seal's in. Let's do the next one. It's in. It's all set, ready to assemble. So it looks good. It's turning really, really nice. There's no play in it at all. The bearings are cold. I had them in the freezer. All the grease is cold. It's probably 30 degrees here today, and I don't have the heat on in the garage, so it's spinning a little slow. But I have it hand tight right now. It's up against the snap ring stops. I'll probably leave it there, tighten up the lock nut, the lock bolt on this so it doesn't move. Take it for a ride, warm everything up, let everything seat, and then check it again. But for now, this is perfect. I mean, there's no play in that at all anymore. And that's beautiful. Well, I'm gonna stop here. I think I got enough for this video. Show you what I got so far. So it's all in there, it's turning nice. She's in good shape, looks good. Just to give you guys a cost for this, the bearings and the seals were only 27 bucks. Granted, I have probably 2.5 hours of time, and they're cutting this thing apart, cleaning it, wire wheeling everything, and reassembly. So it's not really too bad. I mean, if you took it to a garage, it'd be expensive, but to do it yourself, literally I replaced the bearings in this for 27 bucks. I mean, I had to buy this end cap here and the 2 snap clips. I mean, they were 10 bucks for the 2 clips and for this collar. So, I mean, I'm what, probably 37 bucks into this for a completely rebuilt rear end. Not too shabby. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back in the next video. We'll do some more stuff, finish reassembling, and I want to thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up, notification. Leave some comments down below as well. Comments and thumbs up really help with the algorithm and helps my videos pop up when people search things out. Once again, thanks for watching.